Welcome, folks. I'm Steve Adubato. We are coming to you from the Tisch WNET studios here at Lincoln Center. I am proud to introduce our guest. She is Lisa Oz, who is a writer, producer, entrepreneur, and author of the book, Us, Transforming Ourselves and the Relationships That Matter Most. Lisa, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
First time we've had you here in this particular PBS studio. You have had a fascinating career in so many ways.
That's sort of a funny thing to say, but I feel like I haven't had a career at all. I'm a professional dilettante, but...
Oh, no, I'm not letting you get away with that. Why would you say that?
Because everything I do, I have sort of fallen into. I have not had a straightforward career track.
So the 5 books that were New York Times bestsellers, what? You were a dilettante, you fell into it?
All right, so this is the...
How does that work?
The way that happened was the thing I love to do most is hang out with my husband. He was a cardiac surgeon.
Now, what does he do?
He's a cardiac surgeon.
Is that the guy on TV?
A television show.
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So
Mehmet Oz.
Mehmet Oz. He used to be the full-time.
Oh, now I recognize him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That guy.
Go ahead.
But I couldn't do surgery with him, and what he loves to do is work. So we devised a way to work together. We did his first television show called Second Opinion. I was the executive producer, so I got to boss him around legally.
Yes.
And then from that show, we started 2 books together. So we did the whole You series together, which enabled me to spend time with him and him to work. So it was a perfect blending. And then this book I did on my own because he kind of launched into a media career, and I needed to do something else.
The book, as I was going through some of the key elements of it, it's really interesting. By the way, I'm going to make sure we talk about Health Corps.
Yeah.
Health Corps, which is a very important thing to you, very passionate about it, because childhood obesity, massive problem in this country.
Absolutely.
You're committed to it, and we'll talk about some of the keys to that. And we'll put up the website for Health Corps because it's a nonprofit. Lisa's committed to it, and you need to know about it. But in the book, you talk about a whole range of things, okay? And you talk about the importance of us, frankly, knowing ourselves, being more confident in ourselves. And so it's not just about health in terms of here's what to eat, here's where to how to exercise. It's about so much about us. Talk about that.
Right. So it's really about what I like to tell people. It's about relationships, but not in the typical way that we define relationships, because I see relationships as identity, really. And who you are is impacted by everyone that you come in contact with. So I talk about relationships between ourself, our projected self, our ego, and our true authentic self, between us and all the people in our lives, and between us and the divine, and however you define that, it's just something that gives your life meaning and purpose, something bigger than your own, whim at any given moment. So integrating those, because I think they're inseparable. Who you are impacts how you treat other people. How you feel about yourself impacts how you treat other people. What you see as your mission in the world is impacted by how you interact with other people. So they're all one, I think.
Because you are identified as someone who is in the self-help industry, and you are, how much pressure does that put on you to actually believe and be confident that you are helping people?
That part doesn't make me feel pressure, just because I have people all the time coming up and saying that, you've made such a difference, this thing you said really impacted me. The pressure, I feel, is to walk my talk. And I noticed that in the world that I travel, so many of us pretend that we've got it figured out, and that we actually know all the answers. And I will tell you, I do not, that this is a journey and a process.
Sure.
And it's what I put in the book is what I'm working on myself.
You nailed something. For those who have watched the show for a while know that the other part of my life, I do a lot of coaching and training in the field of communication. I happen to have a doctorate in the field, which doesn't mean much. It just means I went to school for a long time. And I coach and train people on interpersonal communication skills and how to avoid stupid fights, and how in the corporate world and in other situations. And my wife and I were involved in the dumbest argument, and I wound up digging my heels in, and often I tell people that winning is overrated.
Oh, absolutely.
Except I wanted to win so badly.
Why?
It doesn't matter, we'll not talk about that on the air. And I didn't, and I could not stop myself, or chose not to.
Yeah, because you always can, it's a choice.
Yeah, so afterwards, we're in the middle of it, and she said, by the way, I'd like to quote a section from your book, make the connection. I said, don't even go there. Point being, it is hard to do what we tell others to do. So do you know when you are doing, whether it's with your husband or anyone else, do you know when you're not doing what you've told others to do?
I don't think I did initially, And now I probably do 20% of the time because I do this practice of non-judgmental self-observation.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't let you get past that. Non-judgmental
self-observation, where I try to separate from whatever it is I'm saying, doing, feeling, and watch it. So there's almost like this secondary person saying, oh, man.
You're spectatoring yourself?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if you can do that, even for a second, it allows you to say, well, is my identity here with the argument, or is my identity here with the observation? And without even trying to stop, just that disassociation from the argument allows you to not put so much energy on it. And then once you've done that, you can actually stop it. It's much easier to stop when you stop identifying with it.
As opposed to once you get into it, and so far you're...
Right. It feels like your core. It feels like you. It's your survival.
Sure.
If that's you, you stop, you're dead.
But we're talking about your career in many ways and the impact you've had on others and the challenges we face ourselves. But you're also, as a mom.
Yeah.
Talk about that. How many kids you guys have?
We have 4 kids.
Ages?
The oldest is 26, and she's got a television show on ABC also.
Yeah, so we've heard.
Yeah.
She's
I'm
out there too.
surrounded by these overachievers.
Yeah.
And then we have
plug that a little bit.
The Chew. It's a cooking show with Mario Batali, Michael Simon, Carla Hall,
Let me take a look at your side of kids. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Daphne,
look at this family.
Daphne is the one in the brown sweater, the tannish sweater, and that's her husband John, who we adore.
Yes.
So they're married. The next one, Arabella, in the red shirt, she just graduated from Columbia. She's a filmmaker.
Another underachiever. Go ahead.
And then my husband and myself. And then Zoe is a senior in high school. She's applying to college right now. And Oliver is in 8th grade.
Got it. Do you feel that the Oz family in any way feels extra pressure because of the fact that you are such an overachieving family? I'm being dead serious right now.
We try not to have them feel that way. I mean, obviously with their father, we are hermits. We don't go out. We don't let them.
Come on, you're not out on the red carpet doing, what is it called? Step and repeat. I love that whole expression.
Step and repeat. Yeah. If we have to, but not by choice.
You do it when you think it's necessary for business.
Right. Yes.
Not, hey, let's get out there. It's good to be seen.
Is that fun for you?
Oh, it's painful.
Right. So we do it when we have to. And, when we have friends who have a charity that we're supporting, then, of course, we want to do everything we can. But for the most part, if we have a night, we are home. And then with the kids, we'd rather do things with the kids than anything else.
Yeah. Speaking of kids, let's talk about Health Corps.
Yeah.
What is it, and how'd you get connected to it, and what the heck makes it so important?
It's a foundation that my husband and I started about 7 years ago now. And we started in one school in New York, with funding from one of his patients and some public funding. Now it's a public-private partnership, so we get a lot of our funding from government, and we get a lot of funding still from donations.
What's the goal?
The goal is wellness at the very early level. We only teach in high schools because at that point, kids can process information better and start being viral vectors in their communities. They can take what they learn at school and they can go into their local towns and insist in their bodegas that they have fresh fruits and vegetables. They can go to their mother's refrigerators and say, Mom, we should be having whole grains. We need some fresh vegetables. We should use beans. We shouldn't eat so much meat. Whatever the lessons is that they're learning, that lesson they can take home and spread in their communities and their families.
But isn't it peer-to-peer mentoring in many
ways? It is, and that's why it's different from a lot of the educational programs that are out there. We don't have someone like your age or my age sitting in a classroom telling kids what they need to do. We have kids who just graduated from college. They're very close in age. It doesn't feel like an authoritarian relationship. It is peer-to-peer. And the reason that's important is because although we teach nutrition and movement, the core of Health Corps is mental resilience. So it's stress reduction. So they don't use things like food, alcohol, sex to deal with the pressures in their daily life. They have things like yoga, journaling, role playing, all different methods of dealing with stress. And when you have a peer teaching you those things, they resonate more strongly.
How big is it today? Because you said you started in the one school, and I know it's a lot bigger.
We're in 50 schools, 13 states across the country. Yeah.
Before I let you out of here, the greatest satisfaction you and Mehmet get out of this is?
Knowing that we're making a difference and hoping that in the future it'll be part of a regular curriculum and people will see health differently.
I changed my mind. One more question before I let you out of here. You guys have been married for 27, is it?
27.
Come on, you have to tell us.
What do you want to know?
No Oprah type question, not that there's anything wrong with that. The secret is?
Well, being right is overrated.
Come on.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's about prioritizing the relationship rather than your ego. It's admitting when you're wrong. It's saying that we are more important than me.
Can I call you guys the next time, my wife and I? Because she's the easiest person in the world to get along with, and I'm not. Can I? Because sometimes being right is too important for me. Can I call you guys?
Anytime.
Okay. And by the way, I meant no disrespect to Oprah. I just meant the kind that makes people cry, and that's all I meant. But listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're great.
It's a pleasure.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Can I plug the book again? Do you mind?
Absolutely.
It's PBS, but we plug important books.
We love PBS.
Of course. The book is called Us, Transforming Ourselves and the Relationships That Matter Most. The author is Lisa Oz, and a foreword by Dr. Mehmet Oz. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay with us. This is One-on-One from the Tisch, WNET Studios, right here at Lincoln Center. Thanks.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET Studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Medical Center, Berkeley College, TD Bank, QualCare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents, the law firm of Gibbons PC, Verizon Communications, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.